Good evening, everybody. In today's lecture, what we will do, we will try to understand about sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is one type of hemolytic anemia. In series of lectures, we are discussing about different types of anemias. Yesterday, we have started with hemolytic anemia, and in yesterday's class, we have discussed about autoimmune hemolytic anemias. And in today's class, we'll try to discuss about sickle cell anemia. Okay. So, see, in sickle cell anemia, first very important point what you have to understand is I'll be going with some important points. Listen very carefully. Number one, first point of sickle cell anemia. First, very important point. Sickle cell anemia is autosomal. It is autosomal recessive disease. Autosomal recessive disease. What is autosomal recessive disease? Anybody from the class? What is autosomal recessive disorder or what is autosomal recessive disease? Autosomal recessive condition किसको बोलते हैं? If any parent has mutations, if any parent has dysfunction or mutation or any genetic disorder, that parents will try to inherit that condition to their offsprings. That means sickle cell anemia is autosomal recessive disorder usually which is occurred from the parents. Clear? This is the first point, very very important point. Number two, see, among all kinds of hemolytic anemias, this sickle cell anemia is qualitative. It is a qualitative defect. What is the difference between qualitative defect and quantitative defect? It is qualitative defect. Qualitative defect. And see, in yesterday's class, what we have seen, in yesterday's class, RBC destruction was very high. So in that, destruction was high. यहाँ पे भी destruction रहता, but along with that, exactly, we can say abnormal. See, number of RBCs are normal. Number of RBC is okay. Patient will have good number of RBCs, but the number of RBCs are abnormal. जो RBC है वो RBC बराबर नहीं है, उसका क्वालिटी बराबर नहीं है. So because of this quality, hemolytic anemia, sickle cell anemia is considered as qualitative defect condition. ओके यहाँ पे क्वालिटेटिव डिफेक्ट रहता है. ये कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम में आएगा आपको. क्वालिटेटिव क्वांटिटेटिव. ओके थैलेसीमिया, बीटा थैलेसीमिया करके एक कंडीशन है. नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल एक्सप्लेन दैट. मीन बीटा थैलेसीमिया quality is not different. Actually, in that quantity is differing. It is quantity defected disease. Okay, anyways, the second point of sickle cell anemia is it is quality defected disease. Clear? अब देखो, a very very important point I want to add here. सब लोग ध्यान से सुनना. See, in hemoglobin, actually in previous classes we discussed hemoglobin has 4 different amino acid chains. I mean polypeptide chains. We call, see, for example, this is one polypeptide chain, this is one polypeptide chain, this is one polypeptide chain, and this is another polypeptide chain. We have 4 different polypeptide chains. In that, we usually call them as alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2, right? 2 alpha chains रहते, 2 beta chains रहते, and in each polypeptide we have one iron molecule, iron atom. Okay, so one hemoglobin molecule is having 4 iron atoms. Clear? So these 4 iron atoms will carry 4 different oxygens. ये सब चीजें already in previous classes we have discussed. See, in hemoglobin we have 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. Clear? So in beta chains, consider this is one beta chain. In beta chain is nothing but, it is the protein which is made up of many amino acids. Group of amino acids is called protein, right? It has 200 to 300 बहुत सारे amino acids रहते हैं. Exactly number I don't remember. So roughly I think 300 to 400 amino acids कुछ रहते हैं इसमें. Okay, so each chain of hemoglobin polypeptide has many amino acids. अब देखो, in hemoglobin we have so many types. In that, सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. There is a type of hemoglobin called hemoglobin S. Hemoglobin S. Hemoglobin S is the type of hemoglobin where in the beta chain, in one of the beta chain of the hemoglobin, the 6th amino acid, मान लो एक chain of amino acid है, beta chain के अंदर 6th amino acid, actually on the 6th amino acid, the normal on the 6th position of amino acid, usually it should have glutamate. Okay, but this glutamate, sometimes this glutamate will be replaced with valine. It will be replaced with valine. अगर बीटा चेन के अंदर 6th अमीनो एसिड के पास ग्लूटामाइन is replaced by valine, that type of hemoglobin is called hemoglobin S. Understood everybody? सब लोग समझ में आया? Understood or not? See, and hemoglobin A, there is a hemoglobin called hemoglobin A. Hemoglobin A is normal hemoglobin. In hemoglobin A, on the beta chain, on the 6th position, it should have, on the 6th position कौन सा अमीनो एसिड है ना? On the 6th अमीनो एसिड it should have glutamate, right? It should have glutamate. अगर 6th अमीनो एसिड के ऊपर glutamate है तो then that is called hemoglobin A. hemoglobin A is normal hemoglobin. याद रख लो सब लोग. अपने बॉडी में अंदर अपने बॉडी में क्या है? hemoglobin कौन सा hemoglobin है? In all normal individuals we have hemoglobin A. Okay, in the beta chain of hemoglobin we have glutamate on the 6th position. On the 6th position of amino acid we have glutamate. Clear everybody? Are you all following? Are you all following? अब देखो there is another hemoglobin called hemoglobin C. hemoglobin C, ये names पर याद रख लो. hemoglobin C. hemoglobin C is a type of hemoglobin where the 6th amino acid of the same beta chain, 6th amino acid, glutamate is replaced by lysine. glutamate is replaced by lysine. अगर glutamate के जगह lysine amino acid change हो जाता है तो that type of hemoglobin, its properties will be changed and its structure also will be changed. That's why the name of hemoglobin also gets changed. So hemoglobin C is a type of hemoglobin where on the beta chain 6th amino acid glutamate will be replaced with lysine. Clear hemoglobin C everybody? Clear everybody? Now you see there is another hemoglobin called hemoglobin E. hemoglobin E, HbE. Actually hemoglobin E का उतना significance नहीं है, but we have to understand. See, on 6th position the normal amino acid is glutamate. In the same way, on the 26th position also, 26th position also we should have glutamate only in normal. But on the 26th position of glutamate will be replaced by lysine. It will be replaced by lysine. Same like hemoglobin C, but here on the 26th position, apart from glutamate, it will be replaced with lysine. That type of hemoglobin is called hemoglobin E. Clear? And now very important hemoglobin, which is called hemoglobin F. hemoglobin F, this is very important in treatment. It comes hemoglobin F. याद रख लो hemoglobin F. F means fetal hemoglobin. F means fetal. fetus में hemoglobin रहता ना. when person is, I mean in the fetus, hemoglobin which is produced in fetus is usually hemoglobin F. One thing you remember, soon after birth the fetus will start developing, right? Slowly develop होते होते रहता, and this hemoglobin F will be matured and it will become hemoglobin A. So the hemoglobin which will be present in fetus is hemoglobin F. So what is the difference between all these hemoglobin S, C, E, A and F? What is the difference is, in hemoglobin F, it will not have alpha beta chains. It will have 2 alpha and 2 gamma chains. Beta chains नहीं रहते. hemoglobin F के अंदर क्या रहता? hemoglobin F के अंदर we have alpha 1 alpha 2 and patient will have gamma 1 and gamma 2, 2 alpha and 2 gammas. hemoglobin F समझ गए सब लोग? hemoglobin F समझ गए सब लोग? Just these are some terms. अभी clarity नहीं आएगा आपको, just try to remember all these terms, but still I am trying to explain in basic things also. Okay, देखो अब देखो, I think we understood the different types of hemoglobin. इसके अलावा और दूसरे types के hemoglobins भी है, but as of now just remember these: hemoglobin A, hemoglobin S, hemoglobin C, hemoglobin E and hemoglobin F. hemoglobin F is particularly having 2 alpha and 2 gamma chains, and this type of hemoglobin is present in, usually it is made in fetus. And now you see, if any patient is having hemoglobin S, if any patient has hemoglobin S on both beta 2 and beta 1, on the both chains के ऊपर अगर patient has valine on the glutamate amino acid, then that type of hemoglobin is called hemoglobin S. If any patient has hemoglobin S, they are considered as sickle cell positive patients. They are called sickle cell trait patients. अब अभी और क्लैरिटी आएगा आपको. सिकल सेल डिसीज किसको बोलते हैं? सिकल सेल डिसीज किसको बोलते हैं? इफ एनी पेशेंट हैज HbS hemoglobin in their body, क्लियर एवरीबडी, क्लियर और नॉट? किसी भी पेशेंट में बीटा चेन के ऊपर, किसी एक बीटा चेन के ऊपर, दो दो के ऊपर भी हो सकता है, बीटा चेन बीटा 1 एंड बीटा 2 ऑन द बोथ द चेन्स the amino acid sequence is same. If sixth amino acid is changed from glutamate to valine, it will be called as HbS. If that patient is having HbS type of hemoglobin, they are called sickle cell trait hemoglobin or sickle cell positive patients. Simple. अब देखो, यहाँ तक I think everyone is clear. Now you see, now here comes very very important point. ध्यान से सुनो सब लोग. See, in sickle cell we have two types of patients. Sickle cell, in sickle cell disease patients we have two types. Patient may be homozygous, or patient may be heterozygous. Okay, this point is very very important. ध्यान से सुनो. अगर किसी भी पेशेंट में सिकल सेल है, सिकल सेल डिसीज पेशेंट्स आर मेनली कैटेगराइज्ड इनटू टू टाइप्स. One is homogeneous and one is heterogeneous. Now, which type of sickle cell patients are called homozygous patients and which type of patients are called heterozygous patients? This we have to understand. Based on this only the severity is understood. See, just now I told in hemoglobin we have two beta chains, right? If two beta chains of hemoglobin has mutation, if two beta chains of hemoglobin has mutation, then that type of hemoglobin becomes HbSS. Am I right? अगर एक बीटा चेन के ऊपर glutamate will be changed with the valine, then that type of patients are considered as HbAS. That means A means one beta chain is normal and one beta chain is sickle. And here homozygous में क्या रहता? Both the beta chains will have SS. S means the sixth amino acid will be changed from glutamate to valine. How many of you understood this point? Which type of patients are called homozygous and which type of patients are called heterozygous? How many of you understood this point? होमोजाइगस पेशेंट किसको बोलते हैं, हेटेरोजाइगस पेशेंट किसको बोलते हैं? सिंपल देखो, अपने पास वी हैव, हाँ, मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर रेजिंग हैंड्स. यू जस्ट, इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू कैन आस्क मी. इफ एनीबडी डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड यू कैन आस्क मी, बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप देखो, नाउ यू सी, homozygous patients are called sickle cell patients. Homozygous patients are called sickle cell patients and heterozygous patients are called sickle cell trait patients. Now you understood what is sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease. सिकल सेल डिसीज किसको बोलते हैं और सिकल सेल ट्रेट किसको बोलते हैं? सिकल डिसीज किसको बोलते हैं, सिकल सेल डिसीज किसको बोलते हैं और सिकल सेल ट्रेट किसको बोलते हैं? इफ ए पेशेंट्स बोथ द बीटा चेन्स आर हैविंग HbSS, I mean if anybody's hemoglobin is HbSS, they are called sickle cell disease, and if anybody's hemoglobin is HbAS, they are called sickle cell trait. Clear everybody? Now you see, homozygous patients are having, they will be having signs and symptoms, but these heterozygous patients, sickle cell trait patients will not have sickle cell symptoms. They will not have symptoms, but you should be able to differentiate both the patients. ये heterozygous patients में भी symptoms आ सकते हैं, but very rare, because in hemoglobin half of the hemoglobin is normal and here all the beta chains are abnormal. Okay, now you see, beta means beta amino acids. Okay, beta chains. Okay, see, you understood these two terms, right? सब लोग समझ गए दो टर्म. And one more point I would like to add here is heterozygous patients are not having that much symptoms, but one very important advantage for these patients is they are highly resistant to Plasmodium falciparum. Plasmodium malaria parasite is there, no? Plasmodium falciparum particularly, they are very resistant. So this is one advantage with heterozygous sickle cell trait patients. Sickle cell trait patients में malaria नहीं आता because their RBCs are very resistant to Plasmodium falciparum. Clear everybody? Understood everybody? अब ध्यान से सुनो सब लोग. Now we understood some basic things about different types of hemoglobins and who are called heterozygous and who are called homozygous, and we understood what is sickle cell disease and what is sickle cell trait. अब देखो, अभी अभी क्लैरिटी आएगा आपको, स्लोली इट गेट्स, यू विल गेट क्लैरिटी. सी, we will try to understand the pathology now, pathophysiology. Exactly, pathophysiology means I will be discussing about sickle cell disease, not sickle cell trait. sickle cell trait के अंदर symptoms नहीं रहते, sickle cell disease के अंदर symptoms रहते. Okay, so we will try to discuss the pathophysiology. पैथोफिजियोलॉजी. अब पैथोफिजियोलॉजी में देखो, नंबर वन, इफ फर्स्ट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, एच बी डबल एस पेशेंट है ना, एच बी डबल एस, द पेशेंट हु इज हैविंग एच बी डबल एस टाइप ऑफ हीमोग्लोबिन, when this hemoglobin, when this hemoglobin experiences deoxygenation. अब देखो, हीमोग्लोबिन में ऑक्सीजन आके बाइंड करते रहता, फिर ऑक्सीजन विल बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड टू ऑल टिश्यूज एंड अगेन इट विल बी डीऑक्सीफाइड. ओके, डीऑक्सीनेटेड होते रहता, ऑक्सीजनेटेड होते रहता, डीऑक्सीनेटेड होते रहता. when this hemoglobin undergoes deoxygenation, what happens, immediately the deoxygenated hemoglobins of HbAs will start forming polymers. ओके, जो आरबीसी के अंदर जो भी हीमोग्लोबिन्स है, ऑल हीमोग्लोबिन्स विल ट्राई टू ज्वाइन टुगेदर एंड दे विल फॉर्म पॉलीमराइजेशन. कब? when hemoglobin releases the oxygen, immediately when it goes to deoxygenation, what happens? All the hemoglobins which are present in RBC will be polymerized. That means they'll join together, and due to the polymerization of all hemoglobins in these patients, what happens? This polymerization will slowly convert the round biconvex shape of hemoglobin. एक्चुअली हीमोग्लोबिन अपने को बाई कॉनकेव में रहता, राउंडेड बाई कॉनकेव शेप्ड रेटिकुलोसाइट्स नॉर्मल में ऐसे रहते. बट सून आफ्टर पॉलीमराइजेशन the RBC structure will turn into crescent shape. It will turn into crescent shape. Clear? And this crescent shaped RBC will lose, they will lose the elasticity. ध्यान से सुनो सब लोग. This crescent shaped RBCs will lose elasticity. They will not have elasticity. And the rounded normal RBCs will have elasticity. Elasticity रहा तो क्या होगा? When the RBC is traveling from the small minute capillaries, when it is traveling from the small minute capillaries, due to its elastic nature, it can easily enter through the small capillaries and it will easily transfuse. It will pass through these small capillaries. But when the crescent shaped, sickle shaped RBC loses its elasticity, what happens? It will go and it will go and bind on the, bind means it will cause obstruction in the small minute capillaries because of its inappropriate or lack of elasticity. ओके, तो वहां पे जाके एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा. एंड दिस इज वन पॉइंट. व्हेन आरबीसी डीऑक्सीजनेट्स, it will undergo polymerization, and due to polymerization its physical structure changes to crescent form. And after that what happens, immediately after forming the crescent form, it will have one more property. The stickiness of the crescent cells will increase. Stickiness बढ़ जाएगा and all the crescent shaped RBCs will come and join together. They will start joining together. Okay, aggregation होना शुरू हो जाते. And this aggregation, what it does, it will go and it will cause thrombosis type of accumulation. Exactly thrombosis नहीं बोल सकते, but it will obstruct the blood vessels. When certain blood vessels are obstructed, अब देखो एक blood vessel है, this blood vessel is supplying blood to many other tissues. The RBCs are coming, the sickle cell RBCs, what they do, they'll block here, somewhere here, and the blood supply to the other tissues, what happens? It will be stopped. So when blood circulation stops to some tissues, it causes severe ischemia. So this is one important property. So in we are discussing about pathophysiology. Sickle cell क्यों होता, we understood, due to the formation of polymerization. And in sickle cell what happens? The stickiness of the cell increases and it will accumulate in certain tissues and it will cause ischemia. And along with this what happens? The sickle cells will have more property to destroy. I mean, the sickle cell will have high probability to destroy. I mean, उसकी destruction rate ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Okay, so that is second property. It is accumulating in certain tissues, and what happens? Sometimes due to the crescent shape, the cell will start destruction. Actually, cell कहाँ पे destroy होना बोलो? Cell कहाँ पे destroy? It should destroy in spleen or in the liver or in the bone marrow, most probably in the spleen. But due to the crescent shape, what happens? Some sickle celled RBCs will start destruction in the blood itself. I mean, blood vessel के अंदर ब्लड वेजल के अंदर क्या होगा, हिमोलाइसिस स्टार्ट होगा। ब्लड के अंदर ही the crescent shaped RBCs will start destruction. When RBC destroys, what happens? When RBC destroys, the hemoglobin which is present in RBCs will start entering into the directly into the plasma के अंदर क्या होगा, all hemoglobin will be increased. Actually hemoglobin concentration, hemoglobin should be present in RBC, no, RBC के अंदर रहना, but due to the destruction, intravascular destruction बोलते हैं उसको, intravascular destruction, due to the destruction of RBC, what happens, hemoglobin will expose in the hemoglobin will expose in the plasma itself. So in the plasma we have one very very important protein which is called heptoglobin. Have you heard about heptoglobin करके एक protein is there. That protein what it does, it will bind on the hemoglobins and it will take away the hemoglobin into spleen or into the liver, and there it will cause metabolism, further metabolism. Okay, मेटाबॉलिज्म यहाँ पे ब्लड के अंदर हुआ तो क्या होगा, इट विल कॉज मेनी लिथल प्रॉब्लम्स, नो, पॉरिफेरेंस पूरे डैमेज हो जाएगा फिर. सो व्हाट heptoglobin does, heptoglobin will bind on this exposed hemoglobin and it will take to the liver or in some other tissues wherever its metabolism is done, and through that it will metabolize the hemoglobin further into heme and globin, and from heme will be again dissociated into porphyrin 9 and protoporphyrin 9 and iron. Okay, all that points we have discussed already. अब देखो, now if any patient is having hemolysis, if a patient is having hemolysis, what will be the free concentration, what will be the free concentration of heptoglobin, heptoglobin का concentration कैसा रहेगा बोलो, what will be the concentration of heptoglobin when patient is having hemolysis? Heptoglobin is free form of heptoglobin, free form of heptoglobins will decrease, no, because heptoglobins are very very busy in collecting the hemoglobin and taking to the liver. फ्री फॉर्म ऑफ हीमोग्लोबिन, अब लिवर के पास हेप्टोग्लोबिन चले गया तो along with hemoglobin, heptoglobins also will be destroyed. If heptoglobins are going along with hemoglobin into the liver, hemoglobin will be metabolized and heptoglobin also will be metabolized. So simply whenever patient has excess breakdown of RBCs in the blood, so what heptoglobins do, heptoglobins will take away the hemoglobin, and because of that reason heptoglobin concentration decreases. So simple, there is a very simple test. If anybody has reduced heptoglobin in the serum, reduced heptoglobin means free heptoglobins, if heptoglobins are very less, that means it will simply explain that patient is having hemolysis. It is the simple test which estimates that patient is having hemolysis. समझ गए सब लोग? हेप्टोग्लोबिन टेस्ट करें तो अपने को क्या पता चलता है, हेप्टोग्लोबिन कम हो गया तो उसको अपन हिमोलाइसिस बोलते हैं. Why? Because heptoglobins are busy to carry the hemoglobin, and in that time heptoglobins will be metabolized. So low levels of heptoglobins will tell us that patient is having hemolysis. Clear this point everybody? समझ गए नहीं समझे? हाँ यार, यस. अब देखो, बहुत स्लोली जा रहा हूँ और ऑल दी पॉइंट्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ऑल दी पॉइंट्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब देखो किसी भी पेशेंट में HbSS पॉजिटिव है भाई. If you think that patient is having HbSS positive means they are sickle cell positive. Simple. Okay. So all sickle cell patients will not have symptoms. All sickle cell patients will not have symptoms, but there are some conditions which will aggravate symptoms. कौन से condition में patient will develop symptoms? Simply we call them as precipitating factors. What are the common precipitating factors to cause symptoms of hemolysis or symptoms of sickle cell disease? Precipitating factors क्या है? सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. I am going to explain you the precipitating factors of sickle cell disease. In that, number 1, if patient has hypoxia, what happens? Hypoxia में गए तो क्या होगा, फटाफट बोलो. If a patient has hypoxia, what will happen? If anybody is experiencing hypoxia, especially in sickle cell patients, polymerization of hemoglobin will increase, no? In hypoxic conditions, the hemoglobin polymerization increases and immediately the normal hemoglobin, the normal RBC, देखो sickle cell disease patients में hemoglobin, sickle cell disease patients में RBC will be normal only. कब? If it is taking oxygen, if it is binding with oxygen, its size is normal. Soon after release of oxygen, it will become crescent shape. You remember this point. You remember this point. ऑक्सीजन बाइंड कर रहा तो नॉर्मल रहेगा, ऑक्सीजन छोड़ देगा तो क्रिसेंट स्ट्रक्चर में चले जाएगा. क्लियर दिस पॉइंट. अब देखो, अब कोई भी एक पेशेंट, इफ पेशेंट इज एक्सपीरियंसिंग हाइपोक्सिया, so what happens? Hypoxia means oxygen content will decrease in the RBC and it will increase the polymerization, and again the cells, the normal cells will become crescent shaped. So crescent shape बढ़ जा रहा है यहाँ पे hypoxia में. So this hypoxic condition is aggravating the sickle cell or not? Hypoxic condition is precipitating the sickle cell condition. Yes or no? अब पेशेंट सिकल सेल हो गया तो क्या होगा? पेशेंट के सिम्टम्स शुरू होंगे, पेशेंट्स के सिकल सेल्स पूरे एक जगह पे इकट्ठा हो जाएंगे, दे विल स्टार्ट अक्यूमुलेशन एंड दे विल कॉज इस्कीमिया, दे विल स्टॉप द ब्लड फ्लो फ्रॉम वन टिश्यू टू अदर टिश्यू, ये सब होंगे. सो हाइपोक्सिया इज वन प्रिसिपिटेटिंग फैक्टर विच अग्रीवेट्स सिकल सेल डिसीज. नंबर टू डिहाइड्रेशन. डिहाइड्रेशन, अगर किसी पेशेंट में डिहाइड्रेट हो गया, सिकल सेल पेशेंट डिहाइड्रेट हो गया, तो अगेन दैट आल्सो विल अग्रीवेट सेम, दैट आल्सो अग्रीवेट्स सिकल सेल कंडीशन. दैट्स वाई किसी भी पेशेंट में सिकल सेल डिसीज है तो अपन क्या काउंसिल करना? सिंपल, वी शुड नॉट एडवाइज द सिकल सेल पेशेंट्स टू ट्रैवल ऑन द हिल्स. हिली एरियाज में नहीं भेजना और डीप एरियाज में नहीं भेजना. जहाँ जहाँ पे हाइपोक्सिया होने के चांसेस है, in that particular situations we should not send these patients because it may aggravate the sickle cell condition, and dehydration also can aggravate the condition. That's why we have to keep hydrating the patient always. patient को dehydrate नहीं होने देना, frequently patient को क्या करते रहना? पानी पिलाते रहना. patient should be rehydrated always. Clear? So this is one basic counseling point we have to give. Now number 3, there are other precipitating factors also we have. If patient has diabetes, particularly type 1 diabetes, टाइप 1 डायबिटिक पेशेंट्स में डायबिटिक कीटोसिडोसिस होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है, राइट? डायबिटिक कीटोसिडोसिस होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है. डायबिटिक कीटोसिडोसिस में डिहाइड्रेशन इज वेरी कॉमन, नो? सो DKA इज आल्सो वन कंडीशन विच विल अग्रीवेट सिकल सेल डिसीज. दिस इज थर्ड पॉइंट. नंबर 4, देयर इज सिंपल acidosis condition. Acidosis. Even acidosis also, what it does? Acidosis also decreases the oxygen binding capacity, and by that it causes or it aggravates sickle cell disease. Sometimes if patient has severe infection, सिकल सेल पेशेंट को क्या हुआ? इन्फेक्शन आ गया. ड्यू टू इन्फेक्शन पेशेंट विल डेवलप फीवर. दिस फीवर विल अगेन अग्रीवेट सिकल सेल क्राइसिस. इट विल अगेन कॉज सिकल सेल डिसीज. ओके, सो इन्फेक्शन हुआ तो भी प्रॉब्लम है, एसिडोसिस में गया तो भी प्रॉब्लम है, डीके हुआ तो भी प्रॉब्लम है, डिहाइड्रेशन, हाइपोक्सिया. एंड वन मोर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, इफ पेशेंट एक्सपीरियंसेस सिवियर कोल्ड क्लाइमेट कंडीशंस, cold climate conditions में experience हुआ, if body temperature decreases, even this also aggravates the sickle cell condition. So these are the precipitating factors. अब देखो, if patient is having sickle cell trait means HB, sickle cell trait, HBAS. In this patient, HBAS patient is always, HbA1 patient is always normal. याद रख लो, HbAS patient is always normal. These patients will not develop any symptoms. But if patient is experiencing any of this condition, patient may develop symptoms of sickle cell disease. सिकल सेल ट्रेट वालों को सिम्टम्स नहीं आते, सिकल सेल ट्रेट पॉजिटिव पेशेंट्स को सिम्टम्स नहीं आते, बट सिम्टम आने के चांसेस कब रहेगा? इफ पेशेंट हैज एनी ऑफ दिस फॉलोइंग precipitating factors. Clear? Understood everybody? Now you see, I would like to add one more point here. If any patient is having sickle cell traits, or if patient is having HbAS are considered as sickle cell trait. Just now we discussed. HbSS is considered as sickle cell positive, right? अब देखो, if parents are HbAS positives, HbAS means heterozygous, simple. HbAS means heterozygous, HbSS means homozygous. Okay, see, now based on this sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease, we can easily decide whether their children or their offspring will develop sickle cell trait or sickle cell disease. सिकल सेल ट्रेट, सिकल सेल डिसीज आने के चांसेस है नहीं है, easily we can understand. Now you see, you try to understand these points, ma. This is very easy. Okay, क्रायोग्राफी ऐसा कुछ बोलते हैं इसको। सी, डबल ए मीन्स व्हाट इज डबल ए? डबल ए मीन्स नॉर्मल, डबल ए मीन्स नॉर्मल, HbAA is normal, HbAS, AS means हेट्रोजाइगस और सिकिल सेल ट्रेट पॉजिटिव, सिकिल सेल ट्रेट पॉजिटिव। अब देखो, एक नॉर्मल पेरेंट है एंड सिकिल सेल ट्रेट पेरेंट इज देयर, नॉर्मल पेरेंट एंड सिकिल सेल ट्रेट पेरेंट। तो इन दिस प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ गेटिंग देयर चिल्ड्रन, टू टाइम्स नॉर्मल चिल्ड्रन होने के चांसेस है एंड रिमेनिंग 2 टाइम्स पेशेंट चिल्ड्रन ट्रेट पॉजिटिव होने के चांसेस है। आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? If one parent is normal and one parent is sickle cell trait positive, in 4 attempts of conception, 2 attempts will be normal, I mean 2 times the offspring will be normal, and the 2 attempts the offspring may develop sickle cell trait positive. Okay, so see, when if these two parents got married and if they are planning for children, immediately after conception we have to check whether the offspring is having AA or AS. If patient is having AS or if offspring is having AS positive, then we can terminate immediately, because अब ये पॉजिटिव है तो अगेन इट इज हैविंग रिस्क, नो, फिर इसके बच्चे को रिस्क ज़्यादा होगा ना। सो इफ पेरेंट्स आर हैविंग एनी ऑफ दिस सिकिल सेल ट्रेट पॉजिटिव और एनीथिंग, यहाँ पे नॉर्मल होने के चांसेस है, फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में पॉजिटिव निकला तो वी कैन गो विथ टर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी एंड वी कैन प्लान विथ अदर बेबी। सो अदर बेबी में पॉजिटिव होने के चांसेस है। अगर नेक्स्ट टाइम भी एज आया तो नेक्स्ट 2 अटेम्प्ट्स और नॉर्मल, नो, नेक्स्ट 2 अटेम्प्ट्स फिर नॉर्मल आने के चांसेस है। आर यू ऑल फॉलोइंग मी? आप देखो, you understood this one, and now next one is if one parent is sickle cell trait and the other parent is also sickle cell trait, तो यहाँ पे देखो, one time sickle cell disease आने के chances है and remaining 3 attempts sickle cell trait आने के chances है। So probability of sickle cell trait is more and probability of sickle cell disease is only once if both the parents are sickle cell trait. Clear? आप देखो, double S means sickle cell disease and one AS means sickle cell trait। अगर एक पेरेंट सिकल सेल डिसीज है और एक पेरेंट को सिकल सेल ट्रेट पॉजिटिव है, तो देन यू सी 2 attempts the offspring is having probability of getting disease and 2 times the offspring will have probability of getting sickle cell trait. Clear? And now if one parent is sickle cell disease and one parent is normal, तो यहाँ पे क्या होने के चांसेस है? all the time offspring definitely will develop sickle cell trait। यहाँ पे normal child birth होने के chance है ज नहीं। so if these parents are getting married, we have to advise them that your children, definitely your offspring will develop sickle cell trait, ऐसा करके बोल देना। तो we have to advise them better you go with adaptation of children, ऐसा करके बोल देना, because ये होने के बाद फिर रिस्क है। बट यहाँ पे दिस चिल्ड्रन फिर इनके बच्चे होने के चांसेस कम है, तो वी कैन से आपके बच्चे जो पैदा होते हैं वो सिकल सेल ट्रेट से पॉजिटिव होते हैं करके बोलना। सो दिस ऑफस्प्रिंग्स अगेन दे शुड मैरी whom? They should marry the normal candidate. All these are the genetic points. Okay, these genetics are very very important. Because of these only, see, whenever a patient tries to marry in single caste or in single caste में single family में ये सब traits positive होने का chances ज़्यादा रहता, variability बहुत कम रहता। That's why most of the genetic disorders are commonly seen in the people who will marry in the same caste and who will marry from the same families. मामा के बच्चे को ऐसा कर लेते रहते बहुत सारे families में। It's in Hindu family it's common, very common. That's why if we are good doctors, always we have to advise to make the people to marry with different categories। वहाँ पे अच्छा होगा, वेरिएबिलिटी होगा, मोर वेरिएबिलिटी होने के चांसेस है एंड द चांसेस ऑफ गेटिंग दिस टाइप ऑफ जेनेटिक डिसऑर्डर्स विल बी लेस। आई थिंक यू अंडरस्टूड दिस पॉइंट, एवरीबडी अंडरस्टूड दिस। अब देखो, नाउ वी विल गो विथ सम अदर कॉन्सेप्ट्स। सी, मान लो patient is having sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease means the hemoglobin will be HbSS, right? Homozygous बोलते, they are called sickle cell disease positive. If patient is having hemoglobin positive, sickle cell disease, what will be signs and symptoms? What will be the signs and symptoms in this patient? Signs and symptoms क्या होने के chances है? And if signs and symptoms aggravates due to the precipitating factors, what complications are seen in these patients? सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो, this is very important. Hospital में आपको बहुत use होगा. This will be useful for you. Number one, patients who are having sickle cell disease, number one, patient will have heavy hemolysis. Why? Due to sickle cell. Due to sickle cell. सिकल सेल ज़्यादा होगा ना यहाँ पे. Sickle, the structure of RBC will be sickle cell. Probability of getting sickle cell is more. That's why patient will have a lot of hemolysis. Number one. Clear? Clear? Number two. Due to lot of hemolysis, patient will have severe abdomen pain. Severe abdomen pain. Patient will develop severe abdomen pain. Hemolysis ज़्यादा होते रहेगा तो patient को abdomen pain ज़्यादा आएगा. It's very abdominal pain is very common with sickle cell disease patient. याद रख लो. Number two. See, when hemolysis is more, body needs lot of RBCs, no? Body requires lot of RBCs. So compensatory mechanism activate होगा and more RBC synthesis will be seen. More RBC synthesis will be seen in the patients, and these RBCs are immature. Mostly immature RBCs will be seen. Immature. So RBC production will be increased, and due to this, more demand of folic acid will be seen in the patient, or consumption of more folic acid can be seen in these patients, and patient will develop folic acid deficiency. Yes, sickle cell disease patients में folic acid deficiency रहता. So treatment में याद रख लो क्या क्या treatment देना, कैसा कैसा treatment देना. Okay. See, sickle cell disease patients में RBC more production of RBC can be seen. Due to that, demand of folic acid is more, and due to that, the folic acid concentration will be decreased in the serum. That's why it will cause folic acid deficiency. Now next point. Next important point. See, due to destruction of RBCs, what happens? The bones will try to make more RBCs, and through that what happens, there is a very very important condition called expansion of medullary cavities. Expansion of medullary cavities. Have you heard about this? Medullary cavities. That means expansion of medullary cavities. लिख लो कहीं भी. Expansion of medullary cavities means we have skull, right? We have skull. The skull bones will try to increase its size. Simply, the chin bones or cheek bones, or sometimes in the cranial bones, their size will increase. Cheek bones size will increase. This condition is called expansion of medullary cavities. अपन एक्सरे देखें तो क्या होगा? When we check the X-ray of the skull, the cheekbones development ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, और skull के जो भी थोड़े peripheral parts में we can see the extra growths. In peripheral parts of the skull bones we can see the extra growths. Why bone is growing more? Extra growth of bone is seen. Why? Because more bones are producing more RBCs. अब आप पूछते सर RBC is produced from the bone marrow, no? फिर ये bone से कहाँ से produce होगा? See, when more breakdown of RBCs are seen, apart from the bone marrow, long bone marrow के जगह से, apart from these long bone marrow, the extra tissues, the other tissues like liver and some other bones, from there also more RBCs production will be seen. सिक्किल सेल डिसीज में बोन मैरो के अंदर से प्रोडक्शन, उसके साथ RBC production can be seen from liver, RBC production can be seen from the extra bones also, some other bones also. That's why the bone size will be increased. Simple point. And due to the extra production of RBCs from the liver, patient will have hepatomegaly. Simple. Patient will have hepatomegaly. Are you all following? Now you see one more very important point I would like to add here. See, I told this is a blood vessel. Blood vessel will be circulating blood to all tissues, many tissues, no? Okay. If sickle cells are causing obstruction somewhere here, what will happen? It will stop the perfusion to the particular tissues. थोड़े tissues में blood perfusion रुक जाएगा. blood perfusion रुक जाएगा and it will cause ischemia of some tissues. Because of these, patient will develop myocardial infarction, heart tissue में blood नहीं जाएगा, and peripheral tissues especially finger pains होगा because in fingers blood will not enter. Sometimes cell necrosis can be seen. टिश्यू नेक्रोसिस हो जाता है, टिश्यू पूरा मर जाते हैं. पेरिफेरल टिश्यूज में अगर ब्लड नहीं रीच हुआ, व्हाट हैपेंस, इट विल कॉज नेक्रोसिस. एंड वी कैन सी इंजुरीज और अल्सर्स बोलते हैं, पर्टिकुलरली अल्सर्स आर सीन ऑन द एक्सट्रीमिटीज, पर्टिकुलरली ऑन द फीट. सेम लाइक डायबिटिक फुट in sickle cell disease also we can see the ulcers or injuries or wounds. Are you all understanding? And there is one more condition. See, we have a tissue called spleen. Okay, spleen के अंदर जो भी है blood, the spleen will be receiving the blood and in the spleen the RBCs will be destroyed. Okay, if these blood vessels of the spleen got obstructed, यहाँ पे obstruction हो गया तो क्या होगा, यहाँ पे obstruction हो गया तो क्या होगा, blood will not enter into the spleen and slowly the spleen size will stop decreasing. और spleen पूरा क्या हो जाएगा, spleen पूरा छोटा हो जाएगा. Shrinkage of the spleen, we call it shrinkage of the spleen. Initially it will cause splenomegaly, but slowly it will decrease the size of spleen and totally it will diminish the actions of spleen. Spleen is the agent which will produce macrophages, right? Spleen के अंदर macrophages रहते हैं ना, macrophages or the cells which will destroy the RBCs and waste virus bacteria जो भी अंदर आते हैं, spleen पूरा खत्म कर देता. Now spleen is inactivated, so what happens, all macrophages will be inactivated. So because of this reason patient will have risk of infections. Patient will have risk of infections. This is very very important. अब देखो किसी भी पेशेंट में सिकल सेल डिसीज है तो पेशेंट को क्या होगा, फर्स्ट पेशेंट को इन्फेक्शंस आने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा रहता, बिकॉज स्प्लीन इज नॉट वर्किंग वेल एंड स्प्लीन इज नॉट प्रोड्यूसिंग मैक्रोफेजेस. And see, when spleen blood vessels are obstructed, slowly the spleen size decreases, I told. No, what happens, there is a condition called autospleno auto means self, splenotomy. What is splenotomy? Splenotomy means the cell or the spleen tissue, someone is telling, splenotomy, that is ectomy, but here the spleen size or the spleen tissue will be decreased, simple. Autosplenotomy or spleen size diminished और spleen tissue will be decreased, सिम्पल ऐसा भी बोल सकते हैं. ओके, उसके वजह से पेशेंट को क्या होगा, रिस्क ऑफ इन्फेक्शन ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. ओके, एंड सी, जस्ट नाउ आई टोल्ड, इफ ब्लड सर्कुलेशन टू द हार्ट इज नॉट पम्प्ड प्रॉपरली, हार्ट के अंदर ड्यू टू द कोरोनरी आर्टरी ब्लॉकेड, इफ ब्लड इज नॉट ट्रांसफ्यूजिंग टू द कार्डियक टिश्यूज, इट विल कॉज ट्रांसिएंट ischemic attack, which is another very important condition. It is, and along with this patient also will develop myocardial infarction. Okay, patient will develop myocardial infarction. And sometimes see, the blood circulation to the renal tissue will be impaired, renal tissue perfusion रुक जाएगा and it will cause renal papillary necrosis. renal papillary ये सब टर्म्स याद रख लो. ये सब टर्म्स कहाँ पे आए हैं, सिकल सेल डिसीज में ही आते हैं. renal papillary necrosis बोलते. If anybody has renal papillary necrosis, what happens, kidney is ready to fail, kidney fail होने के लिए ready है. So renal papillary necrosis is one condition which may cause kidney injury. So in renal papillary necrosis what happens, patient will have hematuria and patient will have proteinuria, hematuria and proteinuria, ये सब ज़्यादा रहता in renal papillary necrosis because blood is not transfusing properly and all the blood vessels will be ruptured. Through that it will cause hematuria and it will cause renal proteinuria. Okay, and sometimes in the eyes, some blood vessels in the eyes will be क्या बोलते, circulation will be stopped and it will cause blindness होने के chances भी ज़्यादा है. Okay, and see, if patient is pregnant or recently conceived, सिकल सेल डिसीज पेशेंट्स में स्पॉन्टेनियस अबॉर्शन होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है. स्पॉन्टेनियस अबॉर्शन होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है. एंड समटाइम्स ब्लड सर्कुलेशन टू दी पल्मोनरी टिश्यूज विल बी स्टॉप्ड. पल्मोनरी मीन्स इन द लंग्स के अंदर ब्लड सर्कुलेशन कम हो जाएगा एंड इट विल कॉज वन कंडीशन, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंडीशन, विच इज कॉल्ड acute chest syndrome बोलते हैं. acute chest syndrome. So acute chest syndrome is the condition where patient will have shortness of breath and patient's oxygenation and the what we can say, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide will be impaired. इवन दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. एंड SpO2 कम हो जाएगा पेशेंट का, SpO2 कम हो जाएगा, एंड समटाइम्स पेशेंट विल डेवलप फीवर. सो इट इज acute chest syndrome. So these are some important points, important symptoms, important clinical conditions, clinical presentations which can be seen in sickle cell disease patients. Okay, sometimes patient will develop hand foot syndrome करके एक condition है, hand foot syndrome. Hands foots पूरे pain आएगा, bone pain आएगा patient को, and patient will have severe body pains. And there is a condition called vaso-occlusive crisis or vaso-occlusion. Simple, blood vessels के अंदर, main blood vessels के अंदर obstruction हो जाएगा and it will cause vaso-occlusion. Because of that vaso-occlusion, it will cause severe bone pain. Okay, so this is very very important point. Severe bone pain रहेगा patient को. Sickle cell disease patients में severe bone pain क्यों होगा? Because of the vaso-occlusion. It is also called vaso-occlusive disorder or vaso-occlusive crisis. Clear this point everybody? Yes. ट्रांसिएंट इस्केमिक अटैक, इसके बारे में मैं कार्डियोवास्कुलर डिसीज में क्लियरली समझाऊंगा आपको. अभी वो कंडीशन थोड़ा डिटेल में पढ़ना है. ओके, उसके बारे में बताता हूँ आपको. नाउ नेक्स्ट व्हाट वी विल सी इज वी विल ट्राई टू डिस्कस अबाउट द लैब पैरामीटर्स और इन्वेस्टिगेशंस. Before understanding this, just now I explained about the symptoms of sickle cell disease. Okay, sickle cell trait में can we see sickle cell trait के अंदर can we see those symptoms? Just now I explained all the symptoms. Can that symptoms be seen in sickle cell trait? Can we see that symptoms in sickle cell trait? Yes or no? Who will tell? We will not see all those symptoms in sickle cell trait. Sickle cell trait के अंदर कब symptoms आते हैं? If patient is having precipitating factors. अगर पेशेंट को precipitating factors में गया तो ही आता, नहीं तो नहीं आता. Now I will tell you why sickle cell trait patients will not have symptoms and why only sickle cell disease patients will have symptoms. Now you see, everybody should concentrate here. Are you all following me? सब लोग ध्यान से सुन रहे ना? देखो, सिंपल, किसी भी पेशेंट में सिकल सेल डिसीज है करके सस्पेक्ट करे. इफ वी सस्पेक्ट दैट पेशेंट इज हैविंग सिकल सेल डिसीज, सिंपल व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू गो विथ पेरिफेरल blood smear. So in peripheral blood smear, simple, we will find two observations. Number one, patient will have sickle cells. RBC cells कैसे रहते? सिक्किल जैसे रहते. Okay, crescent shaped sickle cell. This is one observation. Number two, there is one observation called Howell-Jolly bodies. Howell, ध्यान से सुनो, Howell-Jolly bodies. Howell-Jolly bodies are seen in the peripheral blood smear. Howell-Jolly bodies. What are Howell-Jolly bodies? See, अगर किसी भी RBC के अंदर, if, see this is RBC, if RBC is containing DNA molecules or if RBC is containing nucleus, that observation of DNA remnants or DNA bodies or presence of nucleus in RBC is called Howell-Jolly bodies. Actually देखो, when RBC is prematured, okay, pluripotent cells में जो भी pre erythroblast रहता ना, in pre erythroblast or in erythroblast it will have nucleus, but soon after its mature होने के बाद क्या होगा, अंदर का जो भी न्यूक्लियस होगा, न्यूक्लियस will be expelled out. न्यूक्लियस को बाहर फेंक देगा, न्यूक्लियस नहीं रहेगा. RBC is the cell which will not contain nucleus, right? RBC के अंदर न्यूक्लियस DNA नहीं रहेगा, particularly nucleus DNA माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में रहता. फिर nucleus and DNA is not present in matured RBC. अगर matured RBC के अंदर DNA RNA दिखा तो that condition is called Howell-Jolly bodies. And if patient is having Howell-Jolly bodies, we can suspect patient is having sickle cell disease. Clear everybody? Now third point in laboratories. Simple, see, very very sensitive test we have. सिकल सेल और Howell-Jolly bodies के अलावा एक very sensitive test we have. Very good. How you know? Very good. Actually there is a condition, there is a test called protein electrophoresis. तो ये protein electrophoresis में क्या दिखेगा? हीमोग्लोबिन. कौन सा हीमोग्लोबिन है? We can easily find out whether the patient's hemoglobin is hemoglobin S or hemoglobin A or hemoglobin F, वो easily पता चल जाएगा. If patient has hemoglobin S, हीमोग्लोबिन एस क्या है पता है आप लोगों को, राइट? हीमोग्लोबिन एस क्या है पता है ऑलरेडी, इन द प्रीवियस इन द अर्लियर basic points I told. If patient has HbS positive through protein electrophoresis, we can say that patient is having sickle cell disease. अब यहाँ पे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, सब लोग ध्यान से सुनो. In this protein electrophoresis, if HbS concentration is between 40 to 45, if HbS concentration is 40 to 45 or up to 45%, then they are called sickle cell trait patients, or they are heterozygous patients. Clear? If HbS concentration is more than 90% or up to 95%, they are called sickle cell disease patients, or they are also called homozygous patients. How many of you understood this point? How many of you understood this point? प्रोटीन इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस का पॉइंट सब लोग समझ गए? किसी को डाउट है? किसी को डाउट नहीं है ना? वेरी गुड. देखो, इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस, प्रोटीन इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस करें तो HbS अगर 40 टू 45 के बीच आया, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ HbS इज 40 टू 45%, दे आर कंसिडर्ड एज सिकल सेल ट्रेट पेशेंट्स. एंड रिमेनिंग HbS कौन सा रहेगा बोलो? इन सिकल सेल ट्रेट पेशेंट्स में 40 टू 45% हीमोग्लोबिन इज HbS एंड रिमेनिंग इज HbA. वेरी गुड, एक्सलेंट, HbA. And see, in sickle cell disease, 95% of hemoglobin is HbS and remaining 2 to 5%. 2 to 5% कौन सा रहता है? You know how many what will be there? You know 95% HbS होगा and remaining 5% कौन सा hemoglobin होगा? Anybody from the class? Hemoglobin F होगा. Hemoglobin F is present. Hemoglobin A नहीं रहेगा इसमें. सिकल सेल डिसीज में hemoglobin A नहीं रहेगा because both the beta cells are both the beta what we say beta chains are having what we say alteration. Valine it is altered by valine amino acid. Okay, so patients 5% of hemoglobin will have hemoglobin F. So this is very important point. Why I am stressing here is because here in treatment it will be helpful for you. 95% HbS रहेगा and remaining 5% HbF रहेगा. Okay, HbF type of hemoglobin will be present in sickle cell disease patients. Clear this point? So through this, if a patient's hemoglobin S is 95%, then simply we can say that patient is homozygous. And if patient's hemoglobin HbS is 40 to 45%, then we can say that patient is heterozygous. Clear? I think this point is clear to you all. सब लोग समझ गए होंगे, राइट? समझ गए सब लोग? We have seen so far what we have seen some basic things about types of hemoglobin. We have seen pathophysiology. We have seen clinical presentations and lab parameters and diagnosis भी देख लिए. अब मान लो पेशेंट इज डायग्नोज्ड विद सिकल सेल डिसीज. सिकल सेल डिसीज से डायग्नोज हो गया तो ट्रीटमेंट क्या दोगे आप लोग? ट्रीटमेंट क्या दोगे? सी, if patient is having sickle cell disease, I told patient is having high risk of infections. Am I right? इन्फेक्शन होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा रहता. सो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, ऑलवेज वी हैव टू गिव प्रोफिलैक्टिक एंटीबायोटिक थेरेपी फॉर पेशेंट. ऑलवेज वी हैव टू गिव प्रोफिलैक्टिक एंटीबायोटिक थेरेपी बिकॉज इन्फेक्शन होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है. इन दैट पेनिसिलिन्स एंड सेफ्लोस्पोरिन्स आर वेरी सेफ ड्रग्स. यू नो पेनिसिलिन्स आर वेरी सेफ. सो पेनिसिलिन्स और ड्रग ऑफ चॉइस इफ पेशेंट इज हैविंग सिकल सेल डिसीज. And if penicillin allergy है तो we can go with macrolides. In macrolides we have erythromycin, azithromycin. Nowadays we are giving azithromycin. Very nice drug, very safe drug. Okay, so penicillins and macrolides can be given if patient has infections. Number one. Next, see, because patient is having infections, we can go with vaccines. Administration of pneumococcal vaccine, Haemophilus influenza vaccine, because pneumococcal, staphylococcus, hemophilia influenza, निसेरिया गनेरिया, ये इन्फेक्शन होने के सबसे ज़्यादा रहता है. निसेरिया मेनिंजाइटिस, ऑल दिस इन्फेक्शंस आर हैविंग मोर प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ गेटिंग. दैट्स व्हाई व्हाट वी हैव टू, इफ एनीबडी इज हैविंग पॉजिटिव सिकल सेल डिसीज. अब जिंदगी में सिकल सेल डिसीज पॉजिटिव हो गया तो क्या कर सकता? वी कैन डू एनीथिंग. सो अब जिंदगी भर एंटीबायोटिक नहीं दे सकते ना. सो व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन गो विथ वैक्सीन. ओके, दिस वैक्सीन वी कैन गो. नंबर टू, नेक्स्ट इज वाई फोलिक एसिड वी हैव टू गिव. Why folic acid we have to give in sickle cell disease patients? सिक्किल सेल हिमोलिटिक एनीमिया में फोलिक एसिड क्यों देते? बिकॉज डिमांड ऑफ फोलिक एसिड इज मोर एंड डिफिशियंसी होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा है. ओके, दैट्स वाई फोलिक एसिड ट्रीटमेंट, प्रोफिलैक्टिक फोलिक एसिड ट्रीटमेंट कैन बी गिवन इन सिकल सेल डिसीज पेशेंट्स। यहाँ पे फोलिक एसिड की कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेशन नहीं है, आयरन की कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेशन है, आयरन सप्लीमेंट शुड नॉट बी गिवन, ओके। एंड नाउ वन मोर पॉइंट, सी there are some drugs, there are some drugs which will try to increase hemoglobin F concentration in the body. The drugs which will try to increase the hemoglobin F concentration in the body. So in sickle cell disease patients, can we go with the drugs which will increase hemoglobin F? Can we go with the drug which will increase? Because see, in sickle cell disease patients, 95% of hemoglobin is hemoglobin S, and the 5% is hemoglobin F. 5% is normal. Hemoglobin F is actually, it is normal. Hemoglobin F के अंदर क्या रहता, 2 alpha chains and 2 gamma chains are there, and these 2 alpha chains and gamma chain hemoglobin is normal hemoglobin. It is not having abnormality. But in sickle cell disease, only 5% of hemoglobin F is present. So what we can do? We can try to increase hemoglobin F, and for that, to increase hemoglobin F, we have some drugs. We have some drugs. Try to see this, everybody. There is a drug. See, try to remember all these drugs, ma. 5-azacitidine is one drug. We have cytarabine, vinblastine, vincristine, vinblastine, these are anti-cancer drugs, and we have hydroxycarbamide. Hydroxycarbamide is very, very important drug. Hydroxycarbamide is also called hydroxyurea. अपन हॉस्पिटल में इसी, we don't see all these drugs, we see hydroxyurea only. हाइड्रोक्सीयूरिया इज द ड्रग. ये ड्रग क्या करेगा बोलो? हाइड्रोक्सीयूरिया क्या करेगा बोलो? अरे हाइड्रोक्स यहाँ पे लिखे ना. हाँ सिंपल, ऑल दिस ड्रग्स विल ट्राई टू इंक्रीज द HbF कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. आई मीन आप बोले तो बराबर ही है, बट आई ऑलरेडी टॉट यू नो, आई एक्सपेक्टेड दिस वन. HbF are normal RBCs. HbF are normal RBCs. That's why if we increase HbF concentration in the body, RBC concentration, normal concentration बढ़ जाएगा patient. So this is one simple treatment. And along with this, erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is also the hormone which is having high probability of creating fetal hemoglobin. ये रिसर्च में अभी अभी पता चल रहा है कि एरिथ्रोपोइटिन आल्सो कैन इंक्रीज फैटल हीमोग्लोबिन. फैटल हीमोग्लोबिन इज नथिंग बट हीमोग्लोबिन F. Okay, so erythropoietin also can be suggested in some patients, but risk क्यों करके hydroxycarbamide is very commonly used. And sometimes we have butyrates and valproates. These drugs are also can be given. So these are different drugs. Some drugs are having good efficacy, some of them are having not, some of them are not having efficacy, some of them are having more adverse effects, more lethal consequences, side effects ज़्यादा है. That's why among all these drugs, hydroxyurea is considered the safest and more appropriate drug in sickle cell disease patients. That's why we will go with hydroxyurea only. Clear? अब देखो उसके साथ just now hydroxyurea can be given, and sometimes erythropoietin can be given because it will increase hemoglobin F. And see, one more very important point. If sickle cell disease patients is having severe anemia, if they have severe anemia, sickle cell disease में anemia क्यों आएगा बोलो? sickle cell disease में anemia क्यों आएगा बोलो? sickle RBC destruction is more simple. That's why patient is developing anemia. So if anybody's hemoglobin is very low, or if they are having severe anemia, in that cases we can go with blood transfusion. Hemolytic sickle cell anemia में transfusion दे सकते. And here we have to monitor the iron deposits also. Transfusion बार बार करें तो क्या होगा? Iron deposit होने के chances ज़्यादा है. See, remember, if RBC is destroying, more RBC will be produced, and in that folic acid deficiency होगी. But when RBC is destroying, iron deficiency नहीं होगी. याद रख लो, iron is already present in the body. In hemolytic anemias, iron is present in the body. So iron is commonly suggested only in iron deficiency anemia, but not in hemolytic anemia conditions. याद रख लो, anemia आया तो iron supplement दे दो, ऐसा नहीं है. Iron supplement is given only in demanding situations, and it is not given if patient is having hemolytic anemia. Hemolytic anemia में अपन iron supplements नहीं देते. folic acid supplement दे सकते, but iron नहीं देना. Clear? And blood transfusion भी बार बार नहीं करते रहना. If frequent blood transfusions is done, iron toxicity होने के chances बहुत ज़्यादा है. So transfusions also we have to monitor properly. If it is compulsory, then only we have to go, or else we should not. Okay. And see, patient is having lot of pain. So pain कम करने के लिए what will go? We'll go with opiates. And along with this, if patient has risk of infection, antibiotic. If patient has other symptoms, based on the symptoms we will go with the treatment. Shortness of breath वगैरह कुछ है तो we'll go with bronchodilators. एंड ब्रांकोकंस्ट्रक्शन है तो ब्रांकोडायलेक्टर्स देते, abdominal पेन, बोन पेन्स है तो विल गो विथ ओपियोइड एनाल्जेसिक्स, बिकॉज यहाँ पे पेन इज नॉट ड्यू टू इन्फ्लेमेशन, याद रख लो, पेन इज नॉट ड्यू टू इन्फ्लेमेशन, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, दैट्स वाई हियर corticosteroids and NSAIDs are not drug of choice, that's why opiates are drug of choice here always. ट्रेमाडोल कॉमनली देते हैं अपन हॉस्पिटल्स में, एंड ट्रांसफ्यूजन इन सीवियर एनीमिया कंडीशंस, एंड एरिथ्रोपोइटिन समटाइम्स, and hydroxyurea is very very commonly used in sickle cell disease patients. And always advise patient to take lot of fluid, advise patient not to go to the hilly areas, okay, and इन्फेक्शन रिस्क ज़्यादा है करके पेशेंट को काउंसिल करते रहना कभी कभी फ्रीक्वेंटली. क्लियर? अंडरस्टूड एवरीबडी ऑल दिस पॉइंट्स? Yes, that's it for today.